Hey guys, welcome to Series World. Today I'm going to explain an erotic thriller series called Dark Desire from 2022. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The 8th episode opens with Eugenia hovering over unconscious Darío, and Leonardo is also present there. After Darío regains consciousness, Eugenia asks him about Alma. Leonardo starts to attack him, but the officers hold him back. The scene changes to Alma and Darío reaching a place. Leonardo is seen again telling Inigo that he can't just make accusations. Leonardo knows Darío is clearly behind all of this. Meanwhile, Alma and Darío change their car. The story comes back to Inigo, who's telling Leonardo that there are a lot of things that he doesn't know, and there's incriminating evidence. He also informs him that police are on their way to detain Alma, as Darío has filed evidence against her. Inigo gets a call from Eugenia asking whether Darío is with him. She then informs him that Alma is on the run. The scene changes to a man who has gone to meet with someone in secret. The man whistles as a signal and hears the whistle back. He then meets with Esteban, who asks the man named Gordo how he's been. Gordo replies as usual and asks Esteban about his cane. Esteban asks him whether he has brought what he asked for. Gordo assures him that he got Esteban covered. He then gives Esteban a long-range microphone and 2 trackers. He also shows him a gun and asks whether he needs it, but Esteban declines. Esteban asks him how much for all of this, and he asks for 20 grand. Esteban settles with 15 grand. Gordo tells him to call him anytime he needs anything. Before he can leave, Esteban asks about the gun's price, and Gordo tells him to give 15 and he'll give him credit. Meanwhile, Alma is arguing with Darío about why they're on the run when they did nothing wrong. Alma tells him that they need to find Garcia and find information about his twin and solve the problem. Darío tells her to calm down as they first need to hide themselves from the police. The scene changes to Esteban, who gets a call from Zoe asking whether he heard anything from Alma. She tells him that Alma was supposed to come and see her, but she's not there. She also explains that Alma wanted to talk to her, but now she's not picking up her phone. Esteban tells her not to worry and he'll take care of it. Meanwhile, Alma is telling Darío that she doesn't understand how they can think that she's the criminal. Darío replies that the police found evidence in Julietta's phone against her. Alma understands and tells him that Julieta did call her from her phone that night to meet with her on the terrace, but just because she talked with her doesn't mean she killed her. Alma asks Darío what he talked about with Inigo and whether he suspects her. She inquires where they have found the phone and Darío replies in his room. Alma tells him that someone might have planted it there. Alma also tells him how she saw his twin in the hotel. She explains that he might have planted it there. Meanwhile, Eugenia is telling Mendoza to block all the airports and she wants him to contact ground traffic and all the bus terminals. She tells him to also circulate Alma's picture everywhere and to inform that she's most probably with Darío. Esteban comes to meet with Eugenia. She tells him to wait at the empty office. Before Eugenia comes, Esteban places a microphone under one of the computers. He then talks about Zoe with Eugenia, but Eugenia can't pay attention to this matter. Esteban asks her whether something happened, and she replies that Alma has run away, and someone has warned her. Esteban is agitated and asks whether she thinks that he helped her. He then asks what they are doing to find her, and Eugenia tells him that she'll not reply, and it was a mistake to trust him, especially after she found Alma's perfume and underwear in his trash. She again warns him what will happen to him if he tries to mess with her. On his way out, Esteban meets Inigo and Leonardo. Leonardo tells him that he's surprised that Esteban is there even though he refuses to help with the investigation. Esteban tells him that Eugenia has called him to inform him about Alma being on the run. Leonardo asks him whether he has any idea where Alma and Darío might be, and Esteban replies negatively. Leonardo again asks Esteban whether he knows information about Garcia, and Esteban is confused. Leonardo explains that Alma has asked him to help her locate Garcia. Esteban guesses that she's probably in Morelos. They then part ways. Esteban then calls, someone tells the person that he's looking for their daughter Patty, and if they know where she is. The scene changes to Darío and Alma, who have reached a place to talk to a person who might know information about Garcia. Meanwhile, Eugenia has printed wanted posters for Alma and Darío, and tells Mendoza to circulate them. Inigo has come to meet with her. Eugenia asks him if he knows where Darío might be, and he replies that he was supposed to live with Julieta in California. Eugenia replies that he won't go somewhere that's expected, and asks what happened to all his money. Inigo replies that he might have a bank account in Andorra. Leonardo enters the room and informs Eugenia that Alma has been looking for Chief Garcia stationed in Cuernavaca. She calls for Jimenez and tells him to call the police in Morelos and they have to find Garcia. Meanwhile, Dario and Alma have reached a motel. The scene changes back to Eugenia, who is telling someone on the call that someone must know something about Garcia. And she didn't just disappear. Mendoza enters the room and says that someone reported that their car had been stolen by a person who looked like Dario. Eugenia notices that this was over in Miguel Hidalgo, and it happened at noon. Eugenia tells Mendoza to take proper action. Jimenez also enters the room with a man named Gerardo, who has another video footage, and he works in the hotel as security. Jimenez tells them that the video is not from the night of the murder. Instead, it's from a few days later. Meanwhile, Alma and Dario have entered their room in the motel. Alma tells him that they should have gone straight to the place. Dario tells her that they should rest for the night and come up with a plan tomorrow. The scene cuts to Zoe, who is shocked hearing the fact that Alma ran away with Dario. Esteban understands and asks her whether she remembers Garcia, and Zoe replies that she sure does, but asks why he's asking this. Esteban informs her that Alma is looking for her and asks whether she knows the reason. Zoe realizes that she's looking for the suitcase, which contains a lot of information about Dario and his past. Right at that moment, Karina comes out naked from the shower, and Zoe is startled. Esteban tells her that he'll leave, and Zoe also wants to come with her. Esteban stops her and tells her to stay here because no matter where she goes, they'll keep eyes on her. Zoe asks Esteban whether he thinks that Alma killed Julieta. Esteban replies that humans can do a lot of things that they think they can. Zoe remembers her feelings about Dario and Alma when she learned that they were sleeping together. Esteban explains that her mom also felt like she wanted Julieta to disappear from the world. After Esteban leaves, Karina comes out of the shower. She asks Zoe what happened, and Zoe replies that it's about her mom. Karina then comforts Zoe. The scene changes to Eugenia, Inigo, and the officers viewing the new footage. In the footage, Alma can be seen following Dario in the hotel. Inigo tells Eugenia that that's the day he saw Alma in the hotel, but he didn't see Dario there. He also informs her that he found Julieta's phone after that day. Leonardo asks him why Inigo wouldn't think that Dario might be the one who planted the phone instead of Alma. It's clear that Alma was following Dario in the hotel that day. Eugenia tells him that in that case, it doesn't make sense that he framed Alma by planting the phone and later ran off with Alma. Inigo suggests it might also be the case that there are two Darios. Leonardo is frustrated that he really believes that there's a fake Dario. Inigo tells Leonardo that he saw the fake Dario with his own eyes and even bumped into him. Eugenia discusses that there's still a hole in theory and says that assuming Alma ran with the fake Dario, then where is the other Dario now? Meanwhile, Dario is calling someone named Mark and he asks for their help. The scene cuts to Esteban, who is in a preaching at the church. He remembers what happened to him that fateful day in the church. Liz is also shown on the screen being intimate with someone. Later, Esteban is seen preparing his gun in his house. The background changes to Zoe. She has reached her house but couldn't find her car. She tells Karina that her car has been stolen and starts calling 911. Karina expresses that maybe her uncle took the car and Zoe cuts the call. Meanwhile, Esteban is driving somewhere, and through the microphone he placed in Eugenia's office, he comes to know that Dario and Alma abandoned their stolen car in Temuaya. The scene cuts to Alma and Dario, who's knocking on someone's door looking for Garcia. The woman welcomes Alma inside and offers some coffee. She tells Alma, calling Garcia as Patty, that she was never the same after the incident. Garcia became obsessed with Leslie Delgado's case. She used to call the case the Red Shoe, but that's the reason she had to quit the police. She told her that she wouldn't work for this country's police where no one cares about the deaths of so many little girls. Meanwhile, Dario is waiting for her on the outside. He helps an elderly man fix his car, telling him that he is a mechanic. Inside, Alma tells Garcia's mom that she might be able to help her. She explains that about 1 year ago, she gave Garcia a suitcase that contained the personal effects of a woman named Lucinda. At that time, she believed that it might contain clues to solve Lucille's case. The woman replies that she could help her, but before leaving, Garcia left her things with Eugenia in Mexico. After the conversation, Dario and Alma leave the place with a new car. They stop at a store, and Dario tells her to wait as he needs to use the computer. Alma also gets out and makes a call to Zoe. Zoe thinks that it's a call from Esteban, but Alma starts to talk. Zoe asks her where she is now, and Alma replies that she just wanted Zoe to know that she didn't kill anyone. Meanwhile, police have wired Zoe's phone. As a result, Eugenia and others are also listening to what Alma is saying to Zoe. Zoe tells her that she needs Alma to come back, but Alma expresses that she can't now. After the call, Karina asks Zoe what Alma said to her, and Zoe replies that she didn't give any useful information. Meanwhile, Eugenia is asking Jimenez whether they were able to track down Alma, and Jimenez tells her that the call came from near the Morelos exit, towards Toluca. Eugenia tells Jimenez to come with her, and tells Mendoza to contact the police in Edamax, and get them to cover all the access roads to the airport. Leonardo tells her that he wants to come too, and she will need him to negotiate. The scene changes to Darío. He tells Alma to drive them to the airport, where he has prepared a private plane for them. Alma asks him, where did he get the money from? And Darío tells her to just trust him. Darío then explains to her that the plane will be on the tarmac waiting to fly them to Nuevo Laredo. There, a friend will meet them with some passports. Darío then finds the books that Alma copied from Liz in the car. He asks her where did she find them, and Alma replies that his teacher gave them to her, whose name is Liz. Darío is shocked hearing all this and breaks it to her that Liz is her mother. Meanwhile, Liz has gone the security officer named Gerardo to help her about something. Gerardo replies that he has already risked a lot for her. At that moment, Inigo also comes out of the hotel and calls Liz by Mrs. Guerra. The story comes back to Darío and Alma, who had to stop in the middle of the road because there is a police inspection set up in the middle of the road. Police stop them by pointing guns at them. They drag Alma and Darío out of the car, arrest Alma, and take her with them. An officer bonks Darío in the head using their gun, and Darío becomes unconscious. Later, Eugenia and the officers find Darío in the middle of the road unconscious. The scene changes to Alma being locked in a warehouse. She tries hard to remove herself, but in vain. A man in a mask enters the warehouse and removes the gag from Alma's mouth. It's revealed that the man is none other than Esteban. The episode ends with Esteban informing Alma that Darío has sold her out to the police. To watch more explanations of these kinds of series, click on the videos on your screen. And don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.